Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon. Lauryn Efird's boyfriend comes with lots of financial baggage. Lauryn Efird's boyfriend seems to come with a lot of financial baggage. Yikes, this is shocking to fans. Lauryn has jumped into a relationship with someone who is in financial trouble. Is this the best idea for her and her children? However, fans just want her to be happy and love her life. Keep reading to find out more about this. Josh and Pumpkin get divorced. Josh and Pumpkin were married for 6 years. However, that ended recently. Lauryn revealed that the marriage was broken and there was no fixing it. This shocked fans greatly. No one expected this. The two of them seemed happy. However, they filed for divorce. Once that became public, Pumpkin was quick to show off her new lover. Pumpkin and Josh agreed to share custody of their 4 children. Lauryn introduced her new boyfriend, Darren Kitchens, to fans on social media. The two went to a Zach Bryan concert where they posed for a picture with the caption, "Lauryn Efird and new boyfriend's financial baggage." Darren Kitchens seems to have 4 small court judgments against him. This shocked fans. The first one is from his former landlord in 2016. The amount is unknown. The second is from Midland Funding LLC. This is a debt collector company. He has $1,443 in unpaid debt that he owes to the company. The third one is against him and the mother of his child. WP Land Management says he owes them $4,667. The last claim is from Credit Acceptance Corporation, which is an auto finance company. He owes them $14,060. This is a lot of unpaid debt that he has been taken to court for. Fans wonder how Pumpkin feels about all of this. Does it worry her that he won't pay for things they buy and get into more trouble? They should probably keep their finances separate the entire relationship. What do you think? Lauryn Efird had always prided herself on her resilience. She'd weathered the storms of fame, family drama, and unexpected motherhood with a fierce determination. Now, as she approached a new chapter in her life, she found herself faced with a challenge she hadn't anticipated, a relationship shadowed by financial baggage. It all started when Lauryn met Mason. He was charming, attentive, and seemed to genuinely care for her and her children. After her split from Josh, Lauryn had been hesitant to let anyone new into her life. But Mason was different. He made her laugh, listened to her concerns, and didn't seem fazed by the chaos that came with being a part of the Shannon family. He was the breath of fresh air she hadn't realized she needed. But as their relationship deepened, so did the layers of complexity. Lauryn began to notice small things at first, an overdue bill here, a declined card there. Mason always had a plausible explanation, but the frequency of these incidents started to gnaw at her. The final straw came when she discovered a stack of unopened letters in his car, all from creditors demanding payment. Confronting Mason wasn't easy. Lauryn had always been direct, but this situation required a delicacy she wasn't sure she possessed. One evening, after putting the kids to bed, she decided it was time to address the issue. "Mason, we need to talk," she said, her voice steady but tinged with concern. Mason looked up from his phone, his expression immediately guarded. "What's wrong?" Lauryn took a deep breath. "I found those letters in your car. The ones from the creditors. What's going on?" Mason sighed heavily and ran a hand through his hair. "Lauryn, I wanted to tell you, but I didn't want to scare you off. I've made some bad decisions in the past, and I'm still paying for them. Literally." Lauryn listened as Mason explained how he'd accumulated debt over the years. Some of it was from student loans, some from a failed business venture, and some from just plain poor financial management. He'd been trying to dig himself out, but it was a slow process, and he was nowhere near being debt-free. "I'm sorry I didn't tell you sooner," Mason said, his voice filled with regret. "I just didn't want you to think I was some kind of loser." Lauryn sat quietly, absorbing everything he'd said. This wasn't what she had expected. Financial struggles weren't new to her. She'd seen her fair share of hard times growing up. But this was different. This was someone she cared about, someone she'd started to envision a future with, and now that future seemed uncertain. "Mason, I appreciate you being honest with me," Lauryn finally said. "But this is a lot. I have kids to think about, and I need to know that we can build a stable life together. I can't afford to take on someone else's debt. Mason nodded, his eyes downcast. I understand. I don't expect you to take on my problems. I just want a chance to prove that I can fix this. I'm working 2 jobs right now, and I've been talking to a financial advisor about consolidating my debt. I'm trying, Lauryn. I really am. Lauryn could see the sincerity in his eyes, but she also knew that good intentions weren't enough. She needed to be smart about this, for her sake and for her children's. But walking away from Mason didn't feel right either. She'd grown to care for him deeply, and she believed in giving people second chances. After all, she'd been given plenty herself. Okay, Lauryn said slowly, but we need to be realistic about this. We need a plan. A real, actionable plan. If we're going to move forward, we need to tackle this together. But that means you have to be completely transparent with me. No more secrets, no more hiding. Mason looked up, hope flickering in his eyes. I can do that. I promise. Over the next few weeks, Lauryn and Mason sat down to map out their financial future. It wasn't easy. The more they dug into Mason's financial history, the more complicated it seemed. There were credit card debts, unpaid medical bills, and even a lion on his car. Lauryn was overwhelmed, but she refused to let it break her. They met with Mason's financial advisor, who helped them create a budget and a debt repayment plan. Mason took on extra shifts, and Lauryn cut back on unnecessary expenses. They started small, paying off the debts with the highest interest rates first, and gradually worked their way down the list. The process was slow and sometimes frustrating, but it also brought them closer together. Lauryn saw a side of Mason she hadn't seen before. A man who was determined to right his wrongs, to prove that he was worthy of the life they were building together. And in return, Mason saw Lauryn's unwavering strength, her ability to tackle challenges head-on, and her commitment to their relationship. But it wasn't just the financial strain that tested them. There were moments of doubt, times when Lauryn wondered if she was making a mistake by staying with Mason. Friends and family weighed in, some supportive, others not so much. Her mother, June, was particularly vocal, warning Lauryn not to get too involved with someone who might drag her down. You've worked too hard to get where you are, June had said during one of their conversations. Don't let some guy with a bunch of debt mess that up. But Lauryn was determined to make her own decisions. She knew the risks, but she also knew that life wasn't always black and white. People made mistakes, and what mattered was how they chose to deal with them. Mason was choosing to face his problems head-on, and Lauryn admired that. As time went on, the weight of Mason's financial baggage began to lift, little by little. They celebrated each small victory, a credit card paid off, a bill settled, a savings account finally starting to grow. And with each milestone, Lauryn felt more confident in their future. Eventually, Lauryn realized that the financial struggles had actually strengthened their relationship. They'd been forced to communicate openly, to support each other in ways that many couples never have to. They'd learned the value of teamwork, of perseverance, and of trusting one another. In the end, Lauryn knew that she'd made the right choice. Mason wasn't perfect, but neither was she. They were both works in progress, navigating the ups and downs of life together, and as they continued on their journey, Lauryn felt a sense of peace, knowing that they could face whatever challenges came their way, financial or otherwise, as long as they had each other.